Aging is a quiet conversation between your body and your soul. If only you pause to listen. Many of us dream of growing old with grace, of walking through our later years not just with more candles on the cake, but with wisdom, peace, and a lightness of being. But the truth is, longevity isn't always something we achieve through heroic actions. It's more often a result of how well we pay attention to the small things, the whispers of our bodies, the flickers of emotional shifts, the patterns that subtly change over time. Have you ever woken up feeling unusually tired, even after what seemed like a full night's rest? Or maybe you've noticed that you sometimes forget where you put your keys, or that you're a little more hesitant on the stairs than you used to be. These quiet changes might not shout for attention, but they are worth listening to, because often the biggest health transformations begin with awareness. Today, we'll explore 5 silent symptoms that may quietly hint at deeper challenges to your long-term well-being, signs that, if noticed early and gently addressed, can help guide you toward a longer, stronger, more vibrant life. This isn't about alarm. It's about empowerment, about tuning into your body like an old, beloved friend and hearing what it's been trying to say all along. Part 1. Unexplained fatigue that lingers. When tiredness becomes your default setting, it's a signal, not a flaw. Feeling tired is something we all experience. But there's a difference between needing an extra cup of coffee and living in a fog of persistent exhaustion. When you're constantly drained, even after a full night's sleep or a quiet weekend, your body might be trying to get your attention. As we age, energy shifts are natural. Our metabolism slows down. Our sleep cycles become more fragile. But fatigue that lingers, that seeps into your bones and makes daily life feel harder than it should, could be a sign of something deeper. Low thyroid function, early heart issues, sleep apnea, or even chronic inflammation. And because it's not always painful or dramatic, many people brush it aside for years. Joan, a retired teacher in her early 60s, first noticed the fatigue when she began turning down invitations she used to love. Gardening, which once made her feel alive, now felt like a chore. Her laughter came less often. At first, she assumed it was part of aging. But when she finally saw a doctor, she was diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia. It was a simple fix, a combination of dietary changes and supplements, but one that brought her vitality back. Fatigue isn't always fixed by sleeping more. Sometimes it's about listening more closely. Ask yourself, has my energy changed? And if so, why? Part 2. Subtle changes in balance and coordination. A wobble today could be a warning for tomorrow's independence. Balance is one of those hidden skills we don't think about. Until it falters. We notice it when we feel unsteady stepping off a curb or when reaching for something overhead suddenly feels uncertain. And while occasional missteps happen to everyone, frequent issues with balance could be a quiet predictor of future falls, fractures, and even cognitive decline. Why does this happen? With age, our muscle mass decreases, reaction time slow, and the communication between our brain and body becomes less sharp. But because these changes are gradual, many of us ignore them until we experience a fall or injury that forces us to pay attention. George, now 70, started bumping into doorways and steadying himself on walls more often. His family noticed, but he dismissed it. "I'm just being clumsy," he said. But after a small fall in his kitchen, he took action. He enrolled in a local Tai Chi class and began simple balance exercises every morning. Not only did his physical confidence return, but so did his independence and a new sense of control over his aging process. Small signs in balance aren't trivial. They're your body's way of saying, let's stay grounded together. Movement is medicine, especially when done with intention. Part 3. Persistent low mood or withdrawal. The heaviness you carry might not be just in your heart. It might be in your chemistry. Sadness and emotional shifts are part of life, especially as we move through transitions in retirement, relationships, or health. But when those feelings linger, when joy fades into background and you find yourself pulling away from others, that emotional silence might be a symptom worth listening to. Depression after 50 can be hard to spot, even for the person experiencing it. It often hides behind phrases like, "I'm just tired," or "I'm not in the mood." There may be no tears or dramatic episodes, just a slow withdrawal from things that once brought meaning. Linda, a 58-year-old former school teacher, loved painting, and hosting her book club. But over the course of a year, she stopped attending meetings, stopped painting, stopped laughing. Her family gently urged her to talk with someone, and eventually, she saw a therapist who diagnosed her with mild depression. With weekly sessions and renewed connection with old friends, she rediscovered small joys again. This symptom isn't about weakness. It's about being human. Emotional health is as vital as physical health. And asking for help is not giving up. It's reaching forward. Part 4. Noticeable changes in memory or thinking. When words vanish or thoughts fog over, it's time to nurture your brain, not fear it. Everyone forgets things now and then. But if you start to notice repeated lapses, struggling to recall names, losing your train of thought, forgetting appointments, it's worth paying attention. While many memory changes are benign, others can be early signs of mild cognitive impairment or even the beginning stages of dementia. What matters is pattern and progression. Are these moments increasing? Are they interfering with daily life? David, a retired accountant at 65, began forgetting his daily medications and losing his way in familiar grocery stores. His family noticed his conversations often circle back to the same few topics. He agreed to a cognitive screening, which revealed early-stage memory impairment. Instead of despair, David embraced the opportunity. He started a brain health routine. Puzzles, social games, omega, 3 rich meals, and twice weekly meetups at a memory care center. 2 years later, his progression has slowed, and he remains active, engaged, and present. Cognitive decline doesn't mean the end of purpose, but early attention can make all the difference. The brain is a muscle, one that thrives on use, nourishment, and community. Part 5. Unseen weight loss or muscle weakness. Losing strength silently is like a house slowly losing its foundation, unnoticed until it shakes. Not all weight loss is good news, especially if it's unintentional. When muscle disappears or strength declines without effort, your body may be signaling malnutrition, illness, or sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. Many people assume they're just slimming down or aging naturally, but sudden changes in how clothes fit, difficulty rising from chairs, or feeling winded doing routine tasks are red flags that shouldn't be ignored. Martha, 72, didn't mind when her pants felt loose. She assumed she was just aging gracefully. But when she began struggling with stairs and couldn't carry her groceries without stopping, she got concerned. A doctor's visit revealed she had early sarcopenia and low protein intake. Her care team crafted a new routine, strength training twice a week, added protein shakes, and a walking group. Within months, her energy and strength returned, and so did her sense of independence. Strength after 50 isn't just about muscle, it's about freedom, and it's never too late to rebuild your foundation. Our bodies and minds speak to us in whispers. Will you listen? Each of these 5 silent symptoms, fatigue, balance changes, emotional withdrawal, memory slips, and quiet muscle loss, may seem small in isolation, but together, they create a pattern, a map, a gentle invitation to listen, reflect, and act. Longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about being present, whole, and empowered for every year you do live. It's about understanding that the journey doesn't end at 60 or 70. In many ways, it begins there. So ask yourself, what has your body been trying to tell you lately? What small sign have you ignored, hoping it would go away? If this video gave you something to think about, please consider leaving a comment. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Here's to a life lived fully, not just long. With care, curiosity, and compassion, let's keep listening.